So now once the installation of XAMPP is done, simply open XAMPP control panel and run it as administrator. Here you have to allow it. This will open this XAMPP control panel for you, and here you can see you can start three servers here. So we or three modules here. We have Apache module, MySQL module, and Tomcat module. So if you have to use WordPress or you want to install WordPress, so you need to activate at least these two modules. First module is your Apache and second module is your MySQL. You have to remember uh, you don't have any other installation of MySQL in your computer. Suppose if you have installed MySQL by some other software, so you have to stop that MySQL server. Also, your port 80 should not be busy, it should be free. So then only these two modules will open. Right now I have installed no other server in my computer, so my Apache and my SQL modules are now running. They are started without any error, and you can see stop is written here. Now as WordPress is created using PHP, and for database we have MySQL or MariaDB. So all these things will be provided by XAMPP control panel. Now since Apache is running, we can go to admin here. So you can click on admin, and this will open localhost for you. Localhost is basically a hosting that you are doing locally. That means using your computer. So when you are hosting websites or when you host websites on server, suppose this is a website that is hosted on some hosting providers hosting. So this is web hosting, web based hosting, and this is local hosting, which is basically in your computer. Now by default, uh, while installing XAMPP, it creates a folder in your computer. So you saw that when you will install XAMPP, inside your C drive, it will create a folder called XAMPP. So now you have to go to this folder. So here you can see inside C we have this XAMPP folder, and inside XAMPP folder we have a folder called htdocs. This htdocs is basically used to keep all our websites. So everything that we will create, or the WordPress websites that we will create, will go inside this htdocs. Now your in your htdocs you will see something like this. So what you have to do, you have to create a new folder here. Let's create a new folder, and we will call it my website. So you can give it any name. Suppose you want to create a website for your IT company. Suppose you want to create website for blogging, for travel blogging, or whatever purpose. So you have to give name to your folder here. Now inside this particular folder, which is inside XAMPP, htdocs, and in your my website folder, you have to name it as per your need. So inside this folder, our WordPress files will be stored. So we have to keep WordPress files here. Now what we have to do, uh, until now we have downloaded and installed XAMPP on our computer. We have opened XAMPP control panel, and Apache and MySQL are now running, and that's why we are able to see this local host. And because we are able to see this local host, we know that this server is now running. You have to check MySQL also. For that, click on admin. It will open PHP My Admin for you. So PHP My Admin is basically a web-based database administration tool. This tool can be used to manage databases. This tool can be used to manage MySQL or MariaDB databases. So the main thing is, for your WordPress website, your hosting will be, your database will be hosted here. So this is also running on local host, and you can see an IP address here, right? So this IP address here that you are seeing here, this is nothing but localhost. So these are one and the same thing. So every domain name is basically an IP address also. So behind every domain name is an IP address, and either you can type 127.0.0.1, which is the IP address, or you can write something like this: http colon two times forward slash and localhost. Let's open this URL. This is URL of our localhost. So you will see the same thing. So just remember this once again. One to either you can type http colon two times forward slash. So either you can type this in your web browser. This will open the files where thi- this particular folder that you are seeing is basically nothing but your htdocs folder. So just compare it with your htdocs folder. So we have this htdocs folder. Whatever files are there and folders are there in htdocs folder, you can see here also. So these are some basic things that you need to know when our development process will be finished. So we will buy a domain name something like this, coursetraining.in, or you can buy any particular domain name. I will show you how you can buy a domain name or how you can get a domain name. And we will buy hosting, and then from our local host or from our local hosting, we will deploy this website to a real web hosting. So you will learn that also in upcoming chapters. But first of all, we have to create a WordPress website in our computer. Now, once everything is set up, the next thing is we have to download WordPress. So go to wordpress.org. Until now, we have not downloaded WordPress. We have only set up our computer for installing WordPress. Click Get WordPress. You can see use the software that powers over 41% of the web. They are saying that 41% of the websites that are created out of 100% website, 41% are created using WordPress. It is such a powerful system, and they are recommending a host here, Bluehost. They are also giving information of recommended hosts. This we will see later. First of all, you have to download WordPress. The version of WordPress that we are seeing here is WordPress 5.7.2. So I already have this file in my computer. So I will go to downloads folder. So you can see this WordPress file is now downloaded in our computer. Now we have to copy this file, and we have to open the C drive. We have to open XAMPP. We have to open htdocs. Inside htdocs, we just created a folder called my website, and inside my website you just have to paste this. Now this is a zip file which is given to us by wordpress.org. In this zip file we have all the necessary PHP scripts and other type of files which are needed to create a WordPress website, and we will extract it. So you can click extract all, and we want to extract it. It will take some time to get extracted. Depends upon your computer. So now the extraction process is finished. We have to open this, and these are the files of WordPress. So you can see we have three folders here: WP admin, which will be used by administrators; WP content, which basically stores all the content like images, videos, and other type of content. We have WP includes, which also have various files and various scripts that are needed to run a WordPress site. various dependencies are there. Then we have these files index.php, wp-config.php, and so on. So you will learn the purpose of this wp config file in just some time. So what you have to do, select all and cut, and you have to paste it in my website. So now in my website we have these two extra files. One is the zip file and one is the folder. So we'll delete it. So now your my website should look something like this. You will have these three folders and other these files. Now this part of downloading WordPress to your computer is now done. Now it's time to create a database. Now what is a database? A database is basically a collection of tables. So in order to create a WordPress website, you have to create a database also. And that database will be a MySQL or MySQL database. Inside this database, there will be tables. For example, you will write blogs, right? So you will write blogs. Blogs are known as posts in WordPress. And to store your posts, you will need a database. You will have various type of users. So store the information of your users. You will need a table, a table in a database. So now to create a database, you simply have to open PHP My Admin. So for opening PHP My Admin, type localhost and PHP My Admin. If you don't want to type this, you can go to XAMPP control panel and simply click on admin. That will open the same thing for you. Now here we have to create a new database. So we are creating a new database here. The name of this database will be my website db. So the name of this database can be anything. We are naming it as my website db. You have to remember the name of this database. Let's call it simply site db. Okay. So you can call it anything. Suppose you are creating a website for a client. Suppose you are creating a website for a client of swap the book. So you can name it swap the book db. So you can name it anything and click on create. So now the name of our database is site db. So name db name is site db. Name of server on which we are hosting right now is localhost. And when you will go to PHP My Admin, so this site db is now created. When you will go to PHP My Admin, so you can see the username is root at localhost. So the user which can access this database, the name of this user is root, and the password for this user is blank, nothing. So you have to remember these settings will be needed later. Now db name, site db, and so on. So I hope you are doing these things while watching this video. You are doing these things right now. So you have to remember the name of your database. Let me write it as database. So you have to remember the name of your database, name of the server, name of the user who can access this database, and name of the password. So when you install XAMPP, these credentials are written as I have written it. So the database name will be whatever you have written. The name of server will be localhost, username is root, and password is blank. This is by default. These settings are there in XAMPP. So you don't have to worry about changing these settings because currently you are learning as a beginner. So you just have to remember these things. Now once your database is created inside PHP MyAdmin, you can see we have created site DB. And now the important part is you have to open your website. So localhost is the hosting and our website is the name of our website is my website. So you have to open this website. So this will now, this is the installation process. So it is asking the language in which we want to install WordPress. You can see the list of supported languages here. So I am selecting English United States. Go to continue, and here you can see welcome to WordPress. Before getting started, you must know these things. So we have already created the database, and database name and everything is there. So let's go. So what was the database name? It was sitedb. So let's write it as sitedb. Username is root, password is blank, database host is already written here, and in table prefix you have to write something. You can leave it as default also, or let's say write something like this. So currently, because we are setting up for the first time, leave it as it is. Now hit submit. All right, Sparky, you have made it through. So now let's run the installation. And now it is asking us the title of our site. So the title of our site in this case is my website. It can be anything. It can be the name of your business. Here you have to choose your username. So let's say we are choosing, most people use admin as username, but you can write your own name also, or you can write some other name. I'm drinking coffee right now, so username is coffee, but you have to remember it. Don't forget it. Here you have to create a strong password. Remember, a strong password is something which has more than 8 characters, and it has mixed characters. A small letter, a letter in lowercase, uppercase, a number, and things like that. So we can write something like the T lover 5 and 7 and 8, so something like that. So now I will copy this password and note it somewhere so that I can remember. This is the password of my website, not the server. So website, for website my username is coffee and my password is this. So you have to remember this. You don't have to write it down, but if you can write it down, you can remember it for later. Otherwise I will show you how you can reset it also. Now we have done that. Here you have to mention your email. So let's mention email something like support at coursetraining.in. Now whether you want search engines to index this website. So Google is a search engine, Bing is a search engine. So whenever you have to search a website, you go to Google, you type a query there, and Google shows you results. So this, for example, this wordpress.com is currently indexed in Google. That's why we are seeing these results. So this is what it is asking. Discourage search engines. So we will not discourage search engines. We want our website to be indexed. Some people do use this option because when they are developing the site, they don't want it to be indexed, or sometimes they are creating a private website maybe. So we will leave this option and install WordPress. This will take some time. So now you can see, you can save your password in your browser. Now we can log in here. So the WordPress installation is now complete, and this is the dashboard of our WordPress. Dashboard is something from where you can manage all things. It is like the control panel from where you can control and manage all things. So it's a content management system which is used to manage content. So you can create posts, you can create pages, you can host media on your website, and you can. So what are the meaning of these things? Everything will be dealt in the next chapter. Now installation process is finished. The next chapter we will learn about setting up WordPress website. So in the next chapter we will learn how to set up a WordPress website, meaning of post, meaning of pages. Right now, if you will see your website, so this is the address of our website, right? Localhost forward slash my website. So because we are installing it in a local host, so we are seeing address like this. And if you will install it on your server, so you will see an address like this, or maybe something like this, post training dot in. So you will see something like this. So so when you will host a website, so you will see something like this. But because we are hosting it in our local host, so we are thinking things like this. Now whatever is left in this part, you will learn that in the next chapter. A quick recap of what we did here. So we downloaded a software called XAMPP. We downloaded this software from apachefriends.org. So this is a recap, just what we did so far. So we went to apachefriends.org. From here we downloaded this executable file. Then using this executable file, we installed XAMPP in our computer. Once XAMPP was installed, we opened XAMPP control panel. Then we started Apache and MySQL module here. Once Apache and MySQL were running, we went to MySQL admin, which is also known as PHP MyAdmin. And here we clicked on new and we created a database which was empty. But now once WordPress is installed, you will see that this database has all these tables. So this is something what I was talking about. A database is a collection of tables, and in tables we have rows and columns to store data. So you can see some sample post and everything is now stored inside our database. Once a database was created, we went to wordpress.org. We opened this site. From here we clicked on get WordPress, from where we got this wordpress.zip file. We went to XAMPP htdocs, virtually went to XAMPP htdocs, and from here we created a website, a folder called my website. Inside my website we pasted the zip file, unzipped it, and these are the files here. And earlier there was a file wp config sample, and now we have a file wp config. So this file is created by the installation. It was not originally here. This is created by the installation. And in this file you will see the name of database, name of user, and name of password, and name of server or host. So these things are not done. And once everything was set up, we simply opened localhost and then name of our website. And for the first time it showed us installation process, where we have to choose the language. Then we have to mention host, username, password, and other details. And then you have to mention the name of your site title. Site title we mentioned my website, so you have to mention your site title, your username, your password, which we noted down here. And this way our website was created. Now in a WordPress website there are two versions. First version is the public version, what public sees, what our visitors will see. So this view is for public. And there is a dashboard, which is the control panel. This version is for administrators and writers and authors and editors. So administrators manage all the things from this dashboard. We do not show these things to our visitors. Our visitors see this part of website. So I hope you have understood whatever is discussed here. I hope you are now able to create something like this. Now in the next part, when we will discuss about setting up your website. so you will understand more about what we are saying here. So see you in the next part about setting up your WordPress website.